what we just heard Kyle say about his experience in round zero to this story that Michelle laid out for us yesterday about like what is it that we're really trying to do this year in round zero that is a little bit different and more meaningful than what we achieved last year. Can people give some examples of how Kyle's sort of testimony there to his experience touched on these points?
Kyle clearly understands how to use data to fuel rapid growth.
Yeah, I mean, not only does he understand, he's totally invested in it. I mean, the fact that he put it into his own terms, like my football coach, the film doesn't lie, that's how I talk about it with my students. Like, there's more than just like, yeah, I get it, I know that we got to use data. It's like, I really believe in this, and I want to use it, and I am using it. Yeah. Yeah. Can you introduce yourself?
Oh yes, I'm Stephanie from New York. I thought it was really great how Kyle started out talking about the qualitative measures that he wanted his kids to understand. But he didn't just leave it at that, he actually was able to tie it to the quantitative number. So, there's the 8%, but this is what that means in real life for my kids and how they're going to be able to behave and act in the world as a result of this. And so it made me see that he understands what meaningful objectives he's teaching and meaningful material that his students are going to be able to do, both in their multiple choice and in their writing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was so clear that both from the long-term perspective and from the short-term perspective in terms of his first unit, he really understood like what students needed to get in that first unit that was going to set them up for ultimately the destination that he was taking. Yeah, Sam.
I was just going to say, I think every PD would think it's really cool how you could pinpoint, like, here's how my PD has helped me, here is how it's translated in my classroom, I can see that my PD is as invested in my kids as I am. Like, he's really, really hyped about this PD, and I think that's really cool. And I think that helps with the relationship they're going to have for the rest of the year. And I think it's like emphasizing that as a part of his progress.
Yeah, I mean, if we're thinking about, like, what does catalytic relationship mean? Like, well, that's a weird term. I mean, I think that sort of that testimony is sort of like brings it to life. It's like my PD is totally aligned with what I want to do with my students. He's challenging me to like look at the data and understand sort of what I'm doing well, what I'm not doing well. My partner in this, I feel supported. And I think that's what, the catalytic relationship is. And they're totally focused on like the goal for, Kyle's kids. So I think that really brought out sort of 2.2a. Anything else sort of anyone want to mention about Kyle and how sort of he relates to the story of round zero, what we're trying to achieve? Okay, so Kyle in many ways, y'all, is like the optimal outcome. Like that's what we should be trying to do with every core member is get them to a place where they've taught meaningful stuff to their students, they're using data and really invested in how it's going to impact them, and that they're really committed to working with their program director to fuel their improvement. And, not to ignore the build leadership and long-term advocacy, but we're on a path there with Kyle, I would venture to say, right? So that's the optimal outcome, and that's what we should all be driving towards with every core member. Yet we know, like, it doesn't always work like that. In fact, last year we found that people could meet the technical bar. Like we had folks who got progress known, or who got Unit 1 ready and progress known, but they did not sound like Kyle if we sat them down and said, hey, tell us about your round zero experience and where you are. And so I want us to figure out like why that happens. And so take 10 minutes at your table groups and think about these two alternatives where folks met the technical bar. They got progress known, or they even got Unit 1 ready and progress known. But they didn't sound like Kyle at the end of round zero. So 10 minutes in your table groups, think about like why that might happen. What's going on with core members at the core member level that would lead them to these two alternatives.
Okay, real quickly.